All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever, really looked at a huge ancient tree and just thought, where did all of that come from? It seems like such a simple question, but the answer is, well, it's pretty incredible. And today we're going to dig in and figure out where a tree actually gets all its weight.
Really think about it for a second. You start with this teeny tiny seed, right? It weighs practically nothing. You stick it in the ground and boom! Fast forward a few decades and you've got this massive tree that weighs tons, literally tons. That's a whole lot of stuff.
And all that physical mass, the solid wood, the leaves, everything, it couldn't have just appeared out of thin air. That's just not how the universe works, right? Matter can't be created from nothing. So every single atom that makes up that tree had to come from somewhere in its environment. The big question is, where? Okay, so let's put on our detective hats. We're going to treat this like a genuine mystery, the case of the enormous, ever-growing plant. And our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to find the source of this plant's food. And by food, I mean the actual building blocks, the complex molecules like carbs and proteins that create its physical structure. All right, so like any good investigation, we're going to start by lining up the usual suspects. What are the obvious things a plant takes in? And right away, our investigation hits a snag. Let's look at the evidence. Water. Absolutely essential, we all know that. But if you test it, there are no complex food molecules in there. Same goes for that liquid plant food you use for hydroponics. And what about the soil? Well, that seems like a good guess, but you can actually grow huge plants without any soil at all in those hydroponic setups. So while soil has important minerals, it's not where the bulk of the tree's mass is coming from. Dead end. So, it looks like our primary suspects all have solid alibis. Water, those nutrients, the soil, none of them are delivering the pre-made food molecules we're looking for. We've kind of hit a brick wall here. It's time to look elsewhere. So let's move our investigation above ground. That really only leaves us with two new suspects, doesn't it? Light and air. Okay, let's take a look at light first. We all know that plants need sunlight to live, but we have to be really clear about what light is. Light is a form of energy. It can make things warm, it powers things, but it has zero mass. It's not made of atoms. Matter, on the other hand, is the physical stuff in the universe. It has mass, it takes up space, it's what you build things out of, like a tree. So, that leads to a pretty straightforward conclusion, doesn't it? If light has no mass, no physical substance, then it can't possibly be the source of the tree's weight. It's super important, for sure, but it's not what the tree is physically made of. So, suspect number 4, light, is off the list. And that just leaves our last suspect standing, the air itself. Now, air is matter. It's made of atoms, it has weight, but when we actually look at what's in the air, mostly nitrogen, some oxygen, a tiny bit of carbon dioxide, we run into the exact same problem. There are no big, complex food molecules just floating around for the plant to snatch up. And, well, just like that, we're stumped. Water, soil, nutrients, light, the air, we've checked everything. None of them are providing the food. The trail has gone completely cold. It feels like we're at a total dead end. But this is the point in every good mystery where the big twist happens. When you've exhausted every lead, it's almost always because you've been asking the wrong question the whole time. Let's just quickly run down the list of failures. We looked in the water for food molecules. Nope. The hydroponics nutrients? Nothing. Light? That's energy, not matter. The air? Still no food molecules. It's a total bust. This means we have to rethink our entire approach. So maybe we've been looking for the wrong thing. Maybe the plant isn't finding food at all. What if a plant doesn't find its food? What if it makes it? What if plants aren't like us searching for food? What if they're actually little factories, taking simple raw materials from their environment and building their own food from scratch? Okay, this changes everything. Let's go back and look at our evidence again, but with this new theory. We're not looking for pre-made food anymore. Now we're looking for the raw ingredients, the atomic building blocks. And would you look at that? The answer was staring us in the face the whole time. Take a basic food molecule, like a carbohydrate. What's it made of? Just 3 types of atoms: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now, where can a plant get those? Well, it can grab carbon and oxygen from the carbon dioxide in the air, and it can get hydrogen and even more oxygen from water. It's all there. All the raw materials it needs are right there in the air and the water. So the plant isn't a food thief, it's a master builder.
It's a brilliant little chemist taking these super simple atoms from its surroundings and constructing the complex molecules it needs to grow.
So, here's the basic recipe. Step 1, the plant sucks in carbon dioxide from the air. Step 2, it draws up water through its roots. Step 3, it uses the energy from sunlight, and that's the crucial role light plays, to power a chemical factory inside its leaves. It cracks those water and CO2 molecules apart and rebuilds the atoms into food, like sugars. And that means, and this is the amazing part, the vast majority of a tree's solid mass is literally built out of thin air, with a little bit of water.
Now, you probably know the name for this process. It's photosynthesis. But thinking about it this way, as a mystery we just solved, really changes how you see plants, right? They're not just passive things growing in the ground, they are the ultimate chefs of planet Earth.
They don't eat, they literally build themselves. They build themselves out of thin air and water, and the whole process is powered by the sun.
So the next time you're standing next to one of those giant trees, just take a second to think about that. Almost every single ounce of that solid wood was pulled atom by atom out of the air you're breathing and combined with water. It's basically a giant monument built from the sky.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of mind-blowing thought. Think about it. Every animal on this planet, including us, gets its energy by either eating plants or eating other animals that ate plants. So if plants are the only living things that can create food from basically nothing, what does that make them? They're not just another link in the food chain. They're the ones who build the entire thing from scratch.